Who are we as African people? Who are we as South Africans? Where do we come from? I love that there are, TV shows that kind of depict the histories of certain traditions, certain cultures. Like Shaka Ilembe, for example, is on TV giving us a bit of a history on how all of that went down. But we want to talk about this a little bit deeper, right? So joining us in the studio this morning is Grandmaster Abba Ayalew Amlak from the Abakhaliphi BokuKhanya Institute of Spiritual Knowledge. Good morning, Grandmaster Abba. How are you this morning? Thank you for joining us again.
Give thanks, Ntombi Nyabonga. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, we're looking forward to having this conversation with you. We think you're perfect to kind of give us some insight on this. So let's start off here, right? Tomorrow, many South Africans will be celebrating Heritage Day. And the way in which a lot of South Africans like to celebrate is by braaiing, right? We call it Braai Day as well. How do you think we should be celebrating Heritage Day? Is this an apt way to kind of celebrate it? Well, you see, when he sighs like that, you know he's about to drop the mic. Okay?
All right. It's a good thing to celebrate our heritage. It's a good thing to remember who we are. It's a good thing to be proud of who we are and what we stand for. I'm sure the people who coined it the National Braai Day had very good intentions, when you look it up, put your phone at the origins of this National Braai Day, but it's the one thing that South Africans do most across cultures. So bringing family together, friends together, bringing communities together to braai, like I just heard from Unkoskazi this morning, Wukupi Loftus. In Pretoria, they will be hosting the biggest braai, braai stand, the whole stadium. So, if it brings people together, it's a good thing.
Okay.
If it brings people together, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But what is the heritage that we are actually talking about? I think there should be a deeper look into what are we celebrating? Why are we celebrating this? And take it from there and make it the loudest, because it's important to understand. First of all, the word heritage means a possession or something that was left behind.
Yes, inheritance.
In an inheritance,
yes.
And it's something that you must treasure. And unfortunately, this inheritance may not be a material, physical object. But it's the philosophies, it's the teachings, it's the culture that was left behind for us. And if that is why we are celebrating Heritage Day, let's celebrate it for another 1,000 years.
Okay, got you.
I'm going to simplify this question. Am South Africans abuyapi? Before this pre-colonial era, who were the first Africans before colonialism?
That's a layered question as well.
It's a very layered question.
And you can tell them the truth. Am South Africans are we for slaughterers, but
no, not all South Africans are Wasabi loves Fosoras, by the way, because he's from there. Yeah.
First of all, I'm known for this anyway. The word Africa, there were no Africans in history. The term Africa is a colonial term. Africa was first used in a place called Carthage, which is modern-day Tunisia. And it was named after a general who conquered that place in war, Scipio Africanus. And then that place got named Africa. But the word Africa, which was Aprike, Aprike in the Greek, just means sunburned or tanned people.
No way.
That's all it meant. White people go through these tanning routines and then they brown their skins. That's what Africa means. That's what Africa means. It's people with brown skin.
Wow.
And it was at a time where race was not even a thing. So there was no black, there was no white, there was no mixed, there was no that. We were people. You were just kissed by the sun. We were not kissed by the sun. Go into these cultures I just named. You'll find that, for example, the Tswana Sotho Pedi conglomerate, they say that they come from a hole in the ground. Their place of origin was a hole in the ground, meaning they come from the inner earth.
Sure.
You find amongst Amatonga, Amangoni, they say they landed on a mountain and in a basket. Namabele say this. They landed on top of a mountain in a basket, meaning they come from extraterrestrial space. Amaxhosa and their cousins, they come from the sea.
Wow.
They came to this land riding a black huge python that put them on this land. This is why they came as white people, because they came from the white continents, so-called Antarcticas, and that's a story for another day. So our origins as black people before colonial eras are very deep. And these are the histories and cultures we need to come back to, for us to understand where we are, who we are, and why we are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. When we come back, I want to dive into the conversation around languages, right? And very recently, there's been conversations around how dialects are changing, how when people move from KZN to Johannesburg, the Zulu is a little bit different. When people move from Kimberley to Johannesburg, the Tswana is a little bit different. Let's dive into that conversation a little bit deeper when we come back. Joining us in the studio, though, today is Grandmaster Abba Ayalew Amlak from the Abakhaliphi BokuKhanya Institute of Spiritual Knowledge. And this morning we're talking about heritage and what are some of the things that we need to remember on how to celebrate Heritage Day tomorrow. Now, Grandmaster Abba, let's talk about languages, right? People have got this notion that the languages, or languages in their true sense, are kind of disappearing at a rapid pace across the country. How does language preservation kind of tie into understanding who we are as a people? Like for me, my Setswana dialect is definitely not the original Setswana dialect, because I'm from Kimberley, so we've mixed English, Afrikaans, Setswana. It's completely different. But should I be learning how to speak original Setswana?
What is original Setswana?
There we go.
Yeah.
Good question.
The Xhosa that I speak today, raised by Xhosa parents in a Xhosa home, in a Xhosa culture, is not isiXhosa that was spoken by my grandparents. isiXhosa that they spoke is not isiXhosa that was spoken by their grandparents.
Fair.
Language is a medium. Language itapawe. Language is kaftin. It's a carrier of ideas, of philosophies, of science, of history. But language in itself is not the identifying factor of a person. Language has nothing to do with identity. And I sound attacked for this. How can you say language has nothing to do with identity because you are called Xhosa because of isiXhosa?
Exactly.
No, I'm Xhosa mna ndingumpandla.
What does that mean?
Does that mean?
I come from the Mpandla clan.
Right.
Xhosa
Got you.
is
The language that you speak.
not necessarily.
Yeah.
Xhosa is one of our forefathers. So you could easily call me Ndlambe. You could easily call me Kauta. You could easily call me Khakhabe. You could easily call me Chayingwe. it's as much as you are saying Xhosa. Now, the conflict comes in when Umxesibe is also called Uxhosa. When he's telling you ukuthi ndingumxesibe, I'm not Xhosa.
Right.
I'm not born from the Luans of Uxhosa. But now, because of colonial government and land distribution and the whole Bantustan thing, people who are not even Xhosa are known as Xhosa today.
Sure.
People who are not Tswana are known as Tswana today. People who, let me give you an example. In the Limpopo province, you have Bakhatla, who are now known as Bapedi. You have Mantwane, who are originally Ndebele. And you have Bakoni, who are Ngoni. Now, these are three different distinct nations with three different distinct cultures and traditions. But they are known collectively as Bapedi.
Right.
But if you go down and sit down with them, they'll tell you, no, I'm not Pedi, I'm Ndebele. I'm not Pedi, I'm Mokoni. Do you understand? Now, the apartheid government, in order to keep, just to put things in proper boxes. Okay, Nina, everyone in the Zulu, KwaZulu Natal province, you're called Zulu. But aswona mazulu tina smapele.
Right.
Katina swona mazulu simantungwa. Do you understand? Now, if
That
we can
explains a
go
lot.
beyond those language confinements and see language for what it is, it's a tool to transmit ideas, it's a tool to transmit philosophies, to convey science, to transmit knowledge, basically. So, if I say to you now, hey, yazi out yamizolo, ingishayele ama background, ama rough and tumble, angisamtholi kahle. And then someone else says to you, you know, my close friend betrayed me last night. I don't understand our relationship anymore. Did we not say the same thing?
You did.
Did we not transmit the same message?
You did.
Thing is, we want to hold on to certain things as if they're religions. Example, why do Africans Heritage Day, we're going to see a lot of our brothers and sisters walking around in animal skins and saying that's our culture. Did we not have linen? Did we not trade for silks and cottons?
Ooh.
Was it always animal skins that we wore? KwaXhosa thina imfele sizinxiba xa siya emfazweni. We know that animal skins are military uniform. So are you saying now we attend weddings in military uniforms, children's birthday parties in military uniforms, celebrating heritage in military? We need to understand the context of when animal skins were worn and why.
This is why I want to, when we come back, ask you this question, because you seem to know a lot about who you are, where you come from, the different names associated with your lineage, your identity. But how do I do that kind of a research? How do I find out what are their traditions, their rituals, their belief systems from my ancestors and backwards? Let's dive into that in the next few. For now, though, we do need to head on over to the headlines and check in with the sports as well. Grandmaster, when you were talking earlier on, you were talking with such confidence about yourself, where you're from, your lineage, your people. There's a lot of information that you are privy to. How do we go down the line to try and find out more information about our people, where our people came from, where our ancestors grew up, the kinds of languages they spoke, the kinds of traditions that they had? Because that information, especially for us as South Africans, is not available on the internet. In the States, they've got a website where you can type in, like your name and where you're from or whatever, and you can find out where you come from. We don't have that this side. So how do we find out that information?
First step, and this is going to sound like Nkomba Bantu Ngomuna, but apologies in advance. The first step to finding our true lineages and for us to coming back to the knowledge of self, our mothers need to be honest with us.
Right.
That's the first step. Our mothers need to tell us exactly who our fathers are and under what circumstances did they get us.
Okay.
So that I can be able to go to that man and ask him, is Tagazelo Sake, his clan name.
Okay.
Now, his clan name does not connect him to his immediate family only. It connects him to the greater clan who has a greater history. Example, if your father, Undlovu, he's not the only Ndlovu, nor are his brothers, nor is his father. So should it happen that Undlovu immediately has lost touch with that cultural history, you can contact Abanye Ondlovu, who's still holding on to that knowledge, because eventually back there, way back then, you are all born from the same Ndlovu.
Right.
So your fathers, that never changes. This is why the first step is that our mothers must be honest with us, because your father's lineage never changes, but the mother's lineage always changes in every generation. If my great-grandfather married Umakuzwayo, my grandfather is not going to marry Unakuzwayo, Uzolethu Nadlamini. And my father is not going to marry Umadlamini, he's going to marry Umamnguni. And I'm not going to marry Umamnguni, I'm going to marry Umakekan. So in every generation, the mother changes. I cannot trace anything beyond my mother.
Right.
But if I can get hold of my father and his father and his father, and their clan praise names, this is our historical textbook. This is where the histories of where our people come from, what they were known for, is hidden in the language of what we say.
Sorry, Grandmaster Abba, I just want to say, Wuti, what you're saying about Isagazelo and the fathers remaining the same, isn't it dangerous, this thing we're trying to pass, Wuti, we can take on the wife's surname?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Nizwile leyo nto leyo, ne? Can I be
Could that
honest with you?
complicate things?
It's not going to complicate anything, because it's a whole bunch of pure nonsense. And I don't believe that adults sat down in parliament and legislated this utter nonsense. Abantu abadala laba. They have an intention. Listen, ANC is losing votes by the day. It's losing confidence in its voters by the day. What's the best thing? To build up voting capacity, allow foreigners citizenship through marriages to our women.
Sure. Okay,
That's the whole
but
intention.
Yes.
So
yes.
we will.
But that's-
I will not sit here and entertain a man taking a woman's surname, because no woman has a surname. It's her father's surname to start with.
So that's the kind of conversation we were having last week about the spiritual implications, the traditional implications, should a man decide to take the wife's marriage. And I think at the end of that conversation, we were saying, let the couples decide what it is that they want to do. But personally, we were like, we're not going to go down that road. But back to the conversation.
It's her father's surname. So now, what are you saying? Am I marrying another man?
Marrying the father, so to speak, which is not
Can
what
of
is
worms.
happening.
Can of worms.
I mean, there's a lot that we can unpack there. But let's get back to the conversation around heritage. And I'm happy that you explained how we can kind of go back to it. Would you also advise that we go and we visit various heritage sites in the country? Like, I've done that once, and there's a certain connectedness that I felt in that space, on that land. So maybe if braaiing is not your thing tomorrow, maybe go and visit Marupeng. Maybe go and visit something
visit a
else.
cave, visit a mountain. These places were not randomly picked by our ancestors. Listen, we are energy beings before we are physical beings. And we live off, I like what you said, you're all about the vibes.
Yes.
We feel out energetically, is this place good for me? Is this place not good for me? The places where our ancestors chose to build their villages, look at their formation, the geometry. It's always in round shapes, in circles, in spirals. Why? Because circular shapes allow energy to flow freely.
Right.
And look at the levels of stress in our suburbs, in square houses, block houses, square rooms and square roofs and all of that. Everybody's pushing to get the corners. And we are always trying to cut corners. But in a circle, you can't cut a corner because energy flows freely. So these places where our ancestors chose to... Example, there's a place in... I get this pronunciation wrong. Ninkolele Batswana. Erihulutse. That one. Rihulutse. What's the correct?
I'm not sure, but that sounds pretty, yeah.
Lihurutse. Aha, there's a place in the northwest called Rihulutse. There is a cave. That cave has footprints on rock.
Wow.
And that cave, the locals, Batswana, Bahurutse, Barulung, Bahlapingi, they say they came out of that hole.
Wow.
Now, take time, drive to Rihulutse. It's 2 hours away, 3 hours away, 3, 4 hours. Go there, go to that cave and just sit there. Number 2, in order for you to reconnect, our histories are not lost. And this is why. We are our ancestors. Right now. Nobody goes anywhere. When somebody dies, this is a closed system. When my grandfather dies, he carries on living through the rest of us who are alive. When I die, I'm going to carry on living through my children. Let's look at it biologically now. And biologically, outside of the textbook, I'm a man. I enter into a woman. And then when I leave, who comes out? But me again. The same essence that entered your womb is the same essence that will exit your womb. What happened is just that I expanded myself.
Fair.
Right?
Fair.
So
yeah.
I am all of my ancestors today. If I need to connect to them, it means I believe they are external.
And not necessarily part of you. And that's exactly what you're saying. So that's what I'm thinking of doing tomorrow on Heritage Day. Instead of going to a braai, is maybe going to see some heritage sites. And even if it is a site that is not necessarily Tswana, but even if it's Zulu, Xhosa, whatever the case might be, it might be interesting to learn about other traditions and other cultures.
May be interesting what you connect with them.
Exactly. That's the other thing, right? Grandmaster, thank you so much for joining us this morning. If anyone is looking for you, maybe wanting to engage in conversation with you further, can we get a hold of you on the socials?
Yeah, I'm ngiyatholakala on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, official Abakhaliphi BokuKhanya Institute. Yeah, man.
There we go.
Even
thank you
my
so much
contacts,
for joining
emails
us.
and numbers are there.
Got you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for yet another interesting conversation. Thank you. Well, there you have it. I mean, there's lots that you can do on Heritage Day, lots of ways in which you can celebrate. Do what is best for you. That is how we're going to leave this conversation, is do what you feel would be a great way to celebrate your heritage.